Theodore Roethke's poem, My Papa's Waltz, first published in 1942, remains one of his most widely read and debated works. A compact, 16-line poem written in iambic trimeter, My Papa's Waltz, appears simple on the surface, describing a rough bedtime dance between a father and son. But beneath its rhythmic play lies a complex exploration of father-son dynamics, alcoholism, domestic intimacy, and ambiguous memory. The poem has generated diverse interpretations. Some readers see it as a nostalgic recollection of paternal affection. Others interpret it as a portrayal of abuse masked in lyrical rhythm. This duality, between play and threat, love and fear, gives the poem its enduring power and emotional tension. The speaker, presumably an adult looking back on his childhood, recounts a moment when his drunken father waltzed him around the kitchen before bedtime. The smell of whiskey is overwhelming, and the dance is clumsy and chaotic. Pans fall from shelves, and the boy is hurt slightly when his ear scrapes against his father's belt buckle. The mother looks on disapprovingly, unable to mask her concern. Despite the roughness of the moment, the boy continues to cling to his father's shirt, indicating affection, attachment, or dependence. The final image, being waltzed off to bed while still holding on, suggests both a physical conclusion to the episode and a lasting emotional impression. Themes. 1. Father-son relationship. At the heart of the poem is the relationship between father and son, a dynamic marked by complexity and contradiction. The father is portrayed as physically powerful, rough, and perhaps unaware of the pain he inflicts. Yet he is also the center of the boy's attention and affection. The son clings to his father, suggesting love, admiration, or emotional dependence. This clinging continues even as the dance causes discomfort and even injury. The poem explores the ambivalence of a child's experience of a flawed but beloved parent. 2. Rough play or abuse. One of the most debated aspects of My Papa's Waltz is whether it depicts roughhousing or abuse. The word romped suggests playfulness, while the rhythm and rhyme scheme reinforce the idea of a dance. But other details are troubling. The smell of whiskey, the battered knuckle, the ear scraping the belt buckle. The line, "But I hung on like death," is especially ambiguous. Is it an expression of grim determination or fierce attachment? The poem's language keeps both interpretations in play, capturing the complicated nature of childhood memory. 3. Memory and perspective. The poem is narrated from the perspective of a child but told by an adult looking back. This dual perspective allows the speaker to hold both childlike awe and adult understanding and tension. The poem reflects how memories of family, especially of parents, are layered with affection, fear, confusion, and longing. The details may seem harsh, but the tone is never accusatory. Instead, it is wistful, full of the emotional ambiguity that often accompanies memories of loved ones who were both cherished and difficult. 4. Alcohol and domestic life. Alcohol is central to the poem's atmosphere. The father's whiskey breath and clumsiness suggest drunkenness, which shapes the entire scene. It disrupts the household, as symbolized by the falling pans and mother's frown, and creates an unstable physical environment for the child. Alcohol here is a double-edged symbol. It enables the father's exuberance, his unpredictable energy, but it also introduces chaos and possible danger into the domestic space. Literary devices and language. 1. Iambic trimeter and waltz rhythm. The poem is written in iambic trimeter, a meter of 3 iambs per line, an unstressed syllable followed by a stressed one, which creates a musical, waltz-like rhythm that mirrors the subject of the poem. This regular meter contributes to the sense of dance, play, and continuity, even as the subject matter becomes unsettling. The rhyme scheme, a bob in each quatrain, adds to the lyrical, almost sing-song quality of the poem, which contrasts with its darker undertones. 2. Imagery and sensory details. Roethke's use of sensory imagery brings the scene vividly to life. The whiskey on your breath could make a small boy dizzy, conveys the overpowering presence of alcohol. Pans slid from the kitchen shelf, captures the noise and disorder of the dance. My right ear scraped a buckle, provides a jarring, physical sensation of discomfort or pain. These images ground the emotional content of the poem in physical experience, making it visceral and immediate. 3. Irony and ambiguity. The poem's title, My Papa's Waltz, seems innocent, even affectionate. But the dance described is not graceful. It is clumsy, chaotic, and perhaps even violent. This irony between title and content sets up the central ambiguity. Is this a fond memory of play, or a veiled account of trauma? Roethke's language keeps the reader in a state of uncertainty, forcing us to confront the gray areas of family memory and emotional truth. 4. Symbolism. The waltz, traditionally a refined, elegant dance, here becomes symbolic of the complicated, off-balance relationship between father and son. The waltz becomes a metaphor for how love and hardship coexist in family life. The mother's frown, her inability to unfrown, represents disapproval, concern, or resignation. She's a silent witness to the domestic dynamic, adding another layer of emotional texture. Tone and voice. The tone of the poem is ambivalent, blending warmth with disturbance, rhythm with roughness. The speaker's voice is restrained and observational, allowing the scene to speak for itself. There is no overt judgment, only a recollection of a formative, emotionally charged moment. This tone allows readers to project their own interpretations, making the poem richly subjective and open to multiple readings. Biographical context. Theodore Roethke's own father died when he was a teenager, and he often wrote about his father's memory in his poetry. His father, a German immigrant who ran a greenhouse, was a commanding presence, and Roethke's work frequently reflects both admiration and fear of paternal authority. My Papa's Waltz may be autobiographical, but it resonates universally because of its emotional complexity and honesty. It speaks to anyone who has experienced familial love complicated by imperfection or pain. Conclusion. Theodore Roethke's My Papa's Waltz is a masterfully crafted poem that explores the blurred boundaries between love and pain, memory and reality, discipline and affection. Through its tight structure, musical rhythm, and rich imagery, the poem captures a moment that is simultaneously tender and troubling. Whether read as a recollection of a beloved, flawed father or as a subtle depiction of domestic violence, the poem resists easy classification. Its emotional ambiguity is what makes it so compelling. It reflects the way we carry our childhood experiences into adulthood, still clinging to them, still dancing with their memory. In the end, My Papa's Waltz is not just about one night in a kitchen, but about the enduring waltz of memory, identity, and the human heart.